Ladies and gentlemen, we have over-the-top bombshell news right now, less than 24 hours into the tragic mass shooting in Florida at the high school there. We have eyewitness reports on video of seniors and students like Alexa Meadnick saying that she heard shots going off on the other side, down the hallway on the other side of the building, and then there was the reported shooter, Nicholas Cruz, that she knew, and she knew had been expelled the year before. And she said, boy, I'd expect you to be the person involved in the mass shooting, but she said it wasn't him, and that she could hear the shooting going off. I've already played that clip twice since the broadcast started 34 minutes ago. Then we've been contacted, and we've seen his ID. We've checked his social media. He is who he says he is. He's Jalen Martin. He is a senior. I can show you his YouTube channel. And Jalen Martin has reported to us that 4 weeks ago there was a Secret Service SWAT team drill at the school for some reason. He'd already asked why it was going on. And then he now has talked to the faculty and has some very interesting developments to go over. And I don't know, why is this so important? We're not saying the Secret Service, the local police, or anybody are involved in this. If there is a cover-up or multiple shooters, as witnesses are saying, credible witnesses. We're saying this because if they run drills, it's used by criminal groups who order the drill or who are able to use the drill as a cover for later operations. So many times false flags are accompanied by a drill before and generally on the day of. And Jalen Martin, a senior at Majority Stoneman Douglas High School, again, just about 40 minutes north of Miami, is joining us. But the context here is the background. KHOU, Matt Muzell, was in Florida covering the big baseball tryouts. He's the top sports reporter on KHOU, very respected channel, top channel in Houston. And we're now getting reports that other people said that there were shootings on both ends of the building going on. Now, just like Vegas, it turned out that top acoustics experts listened to the audio, and there were multiple shooters. And now they are looking into multiple shooters, and they admit there's been some type of cover-up. And there was this big Saudi Arabian military conference happening that weekend. And Paddock was a gun runner, and he had gone to the Middle East. We broke all that the day after, just like we're covering all this the day after. So I'm just setting the table there that we don't just go into things and say, oh, it's a false flag, oh, it's fake. Sometimes stuff is exactly like they say, and we are saying real people were shot. The media will, of course, say that I say no one shot. That's a hoax they always put out because they're fake news. They're also saying Trump blamed the victims. There's no such tweets, no such statements. CNN, MSNBC, they're all lying. So joining us for this segment, the next, is Jalen Martin. We appreciate his courage, reaching out to us as a listener and getting us a student ID and all his info. And so here he joins us, senior at the high school. First, I want to give him my condolences for any friends he may have lost or what happened. So you've got the floor of this segment, the next, and longer if you need it, to talk about what happened, your view, the Secret Service, the SWAT drill, what faculty told you. Did you know or ever talk to Nicholas Cruz, the reported lone gunman, a.k.a. Tim McVeigh, a.k.a. Lee Harvey Oswald? I mean, did you talk? Did you know this fellow? Thank you for joining us, Jalen.
Yes, Alex. So I'd like to start off with saying I don't know Nick, but I've possibly seen him around. You know, there's a lot of oddball people that you meet in high school. But I just want to jump into 4 weeks ago when the Secret Service stuff started happening. So it was sort of like a random thing. I think it happened like right after a weekend or something. The teachers, every single one of them was instructed to tell us like this new drill, like where our zones were for each class. And, you know, every single day they would tell us. And then I talked to one of my teachers. In fact, it was the same teacher that I ended up being with, you know, yesterday when all of this went down. And he said that the Secret Service came and trained them on what the new safety protocols would be. And I don't understand why the Secret Service was, the ones who were doing it. Because I would think that, firefighters or police officers would be the ones to do this. And so I kind of disregarded it. Fast forward to yesterday. We had a drill because regularly we have to have drills now because of, protocol thing. We had a drill in the second period, 8, 9 or something or 9. It was like 9 to 10 to 11 or something like that. And then fast forward again to later in the day, we hear the fire alarm. Everyone was confused because we already had a fire drill today. Why was the fire alarm going off again? That's what everyone was wondering. So we all just went outside. We stood there for 1 minute. Within 1 minute, there were 4 police cars there. My teacher was standing there because he didn't know what was happening. No one did. He thought it was a fire drill. And then eventually he was like, okay, let's go, because everyone was shifting fast. And I mean, there's 3,000 kids there. Everyone was shifting away from the school. So within the next 3 minutes, there had to have been at least 50 cars there. I kept telling people around me, okay, this is not anything serious until I see a helicopter. And within a few more minutes, I ended up seeing a helicopter. But I got reports from people around me. They were telling me, oh, this is a code black, which means bomb. That was the new thing that we learned. And then people were like, no, it's code red. It's code red, which means active shooter. So my friend took my phone from me, and he used it to call his mom because he didn't have his phone. He thought it was a fire drill. He was just going to leave it in the classroom. So he tried to call his mom. His mom answered, and he was like, Mom, there's an active shooter here. There's an active shooter. A teacher came up out of nowhere and said, don't tell her that. Be quiet. Don't tell anybody. And he was like, shut up. And the teacher walked up, snatched the phone away from him, and it looked like he was going to break my phone. I was like, no, that's my phone. He was like, don't give it back. Don't tell anyone. So after that, me and him sped up and tried to go through the crowd. I've never been so congested with people